Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Digital Marketing Masterclass Discussions. Today's topic is harnessing video for client trust and revenue growth in professional services. Today's guest is Mike DiCioccio. Mike helps entrepreneurs, businesses, and brands launch and grow their podcasts from production to distribution and the creative social as well. So, as you know, we're going to chop this up into three sub-segments. So the first is maximizing client engagement, how podcasts, video content enhances client trust and drives revenue and professional services. Welcome, Mike. Let's discuss.
There you go, Mike. That's a mouthful.
Thank you, guys.
Bring it.
Thank you guys so much for having me on the show. I know we got a short window today, so we're going to be kind of going through the fire hose. But you talked about the word engagement, right? And engagement today is video. We all know this. A lot of podcasts are coming out and they're doing video podcasts like you are, like my show. And the reason is when you create a podcast, now you're creating a whole little media kit, right? So it's going to go out on TikTok. It's going to go out on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want to put it, Twitter, and X. So, you're going to make sure that your audience has the ability. It's like ET, remember with the Reese's Pieces, right? You got to put up one until he finally gets back, right? So that's the whole idea of your social media content from your podcast is to get people obviously to listen to the whole thing. But with that micro content, you're now getting people to know, like, and trust you more. It's like the reason you show up at a networking event. Now they're going to know, like, and trust me more. They've seen me before. Maybe they didn't talk to me the first time. So now I show up to the meeting again. Now I talk to him for 30 seconds. And the third time you go to that Chamber of Commerce meeting, you're having a full-blown conversation. Maybe the fourth time you're presenting in front of the group. It's the same thing with your podcast and your social media content. You're getting people to consistently see you over time. They know, like, and trust you. And now they actually see you as someone in the space that knows what you're talking about. Obviously, that's important that you actually know what you're talking about. And I'm talking to the audience right now. If you're going to have a podcast on a particular topic, of course, it's going to be something that you're an expert in or something you're interested in. And maybe you bring people on and they're the expert and you interview them. That's my style. So yeah, engagement, that word jumped out at me when you guys started, and Aaron, when you set us up there. So that's, I think, the most important thing for people to think about is how do I get attention and how do I make engaging content, not just try to copy what the next person's doing.
I wonder, Mike, I think it's a really great point. I think of it, I kind of put it in two buckets. You've got prospects, so engaging prospects in the world of professional services, but you also have clients, right? And what we're trying to do is engage clients deeper into a relationship with our firms, right? Because there's a lot of advisory type services, ancillary types of services that firms can offer their clients. Mm-hmm. So you talked a lot about, like, engaging prospects. What do you all think about engaging existing clients, driving that relationship, building a stronger relationship over time through video?
Yeah, I'll jump in again on that one because that is exactly how I built my business. Unintentionally, I built a six-figure business over the last couple of years. Literally, I started a podcast back in 2018. It was a passion project. I was interviewing entrepreneurs. It was something I was doing for fun. I was already meeting people and happy to talk to them for a cup of coffee, right? And then all of a sudden we had these great conversations and I'd be like, man, a fly in the wall would have just picked up on all this great information that this person just gave me. Too bad that wasn't recorded. Why don't I record it? Oh, record it and create a podcast. I was not a podcast producer yet. I was just doing it. I had one show I did for a friend. I was not producing this professionally, like for a agency at that point. And so what I started to realize is having these conversations, I'm building friendships. I'm building relationships. People now want to talk to me for a longer period of time. I'm picking their brain, and it's an opportunity for me to now learn so much. You can pick up this person's book and read it, but you can't ask the book a question, like a follow-up question, or tell me how you actually tackled that. Or if I'm going to read this whole book, what are the first 3 things that you recommend I do? Because the book's great, but I need to take action today. Right. So that's where podcasting is huge. Alex, you talked about building relationships for existing clients. Have them on your podcast. Get to know them a little bit better. They're going to appreciate being on. Everybody likes to talk about themselves typically. And so you give them the floor to now share about themselves. And guess what? They also just got a social media clip or 3 because they talked on your show. You're going to edit that together, give it to them typically as a little handout. Thanks for being on the show. And now they're like, holy smokes, hanging with Aaron and Alex. I was on their show for 20 minutes and look what I got from that. It's pretty cool. And they may actually get business off of that. Obviously, that's the idea.